And I think if we're going to solve this problem, if we're going to start having the conversation of how we get our teenagers, how do we get our children back at church, especially if they've already walked away, especially if they're kind of on the fence, the most effective way to solve this problem is to try and understand the problem. Essentially, why do teenagers leave the church? What's the reasoning? What's the root? What's the genesis of their thought process that leads them to want to leave the church? What do teenagers care about? What do they want in a church? Not that we cater to their wants and desires, right? Like church is not a buffet and it's not about what we want. It's not Burger King, have it your way. But there are things that we can do and listen to our teenagers as we figure out what is the cause of this. And so I think there's several reasons that teenagers leave the church, and I want to identify them so we can understand what the problem is, so we can put a face to it, we can put language behind it, so we can also, in the process, find a solution. And these reasons are from Barna. Barna is a Christian research nonprofit organization. They're incredible, and they have boots on the ground. They have good data, solid data, trustworthy data. And these are some of the reasons they put together of why teenagers leave the church. And I want to share them with you so we can identify these issues. And so one of them is that the church is overprotective and there's a fear-based culture. Essentially, they feel that the church demonizes everything outside of its walls and they ignore real world complexity. So overprotective and fear-based. They also feel that church can have shallow experiences. 31% of students or teenagers found that church is boring, and that 24% felt their faith did not connect to their career or interests. And so there was a shallow experience. They didn't get anything out of their Sunday experience or youth group experience. Another reason is there's antagonism towards science. That 35% said Christians acted like they knew all the answers and they felt the church was out of step with science. So antagonism towards science. Judgmental messaging on sexuality is a big one. Gender politics, gender identity, transgenderism, all the pronoun battle, all these things are a factor in our teenagers that are Gen Z, Gen Alpha, seeing that on TikTok, seeing that on social media, playing a part in going to church or not. A lot of teenagers, a lot of young Christians felt that they were judged for their sexual history. Another reason, I got a couple more, we're going to finish it up here. Exclusivity and a lack of openness. Exclusivity and a lack of openness.